All right, Bull, to keep with the defense here, we got 2 awards from the NFL honors last night.
Yeah. Myles Garrett, big surprise on both of these. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year, and Carson Schwesinger wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know what there is to say. There was no debate. Was he unanimous also, Schwesinger?
He was not. He got 40 of the 50 first-place votes.
Okay. Who finished second?
Nick Emanwari, the safety for Seattle.
Oh, yeah, right. Is he banged up going to the Super Bowl?
He's a little dinged up.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys got to say about this?
So when it comes to Myles winning DPOY, it's now his second DPOY. I was just trying to put it to context, like the historical achievement that is. There have been 9 guys in the history of the NFL that have multiple DPOY awards.
Yeah.
Just 9. Guys that have won it twice include Myles Garrett. And if you could pull the list up, there we go. Ray Lewis.
All Hall of Famers.
Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Mike Singletary, and Joe Green. So those are the 6 guys who have had it.
I think there were
twice.
9.
There are 3 players who have won it 3 times.
Okay,
That
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor, J.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald.
Yeah, every player on that list is either a Hall of Famer or is about to be a Hall of Famer.
What's maybe even more impressive from a historical standpoint, there have now only been 2 unanimous DPOY winners. J.J. Watt in 2014 and Myles Garrett last night. Just the second time in the history of the award that a player's won it in unanimous fashion, 50 out of 50 first-place votes, and Myles Garrett's now the second.
Yeah, it is amazing. I think part of that is some of those awards, like before sacks were even a stat, it was maybe harder to determine who the Defensive Player of the Year was.
When did they even start giving that out?
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually don't know when the first DPOY
But it has to be in the 80s because Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. I would say it's probably right around then.
Yeah.
I would think.
When they made sacks an official stat. Could it be tied together like that? Unironically, not that they started making sacks a stat, but...
the first award was in 1971.
1971, the year I was born.
Way earlier
Great
than
year.
I would have guessed. I would have thought the 80s.
And then when did stats become sacks?
Sacks were 82.
82.
Yeah. So another decade.
Yeah.
So does DPOY mean more to you than Coach of the Year?
Yes, it does.
I agree.
It does because
I agree.
When Kevin Stefanski, no knock at him, Kevin Stefanski wasn't the best coach in the league those 2 years. He did a good he was the coach that overachieved the most.
Who won? Vrabel won it last night.
Right. Coach who overachieved the most.
Is he the best coach in the league?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But he's up there.
It's just
He's
like
one of them.
Yeah, sure. And Kevin Stefanski did a nice job those seasons. But like the coaches on the teams that are expected to be good don't get even considered.
Right.
Which are whatever. Whereas that's not the case for Defensive Player of the Year.
Correct.
Myles Garrett was expected to win. People didn't hold it. It wasn't the guy who had the most surprising defensive season. That that would, I guess, be Comeback Player of the Year. But
he was the clear winner. You can't make a case for anybody else.
No, there was no argument for anybody else. No argument. Look at the cowboy hat. I didn't see that. I like that.
He can. I mean, he's from Texas. He can pull off the Texas.
He can, man.
Oh, he's a giant cowboy.
He was the walkout when we were at the Morgan Wallen concert. I took summer.
Really?
I took AJ on the second night. Remember
Is Morgan Wallen a man or a woman?
A man.
He's a man.
Okay.
They had the Browns played a
I don't know
preseason
country
game.
music.
Yeah, Browns had a preseason game that afternoon.
Yeah.
They flew home, and he did the walkout with the hat and everything. I was like, man, he's got the look. He's a cowboy. He for sure.
Well, from
can
Arlington,
pull it off.
which is
Myles Garrett could pull off anything.
anything. Yeah,
I mean,
anything.
Yeah.
The guy is a statue, basically. I mean, he's a perfect-looking human being. He's really if you look at like body and fat, he's a good-looking guy. He's in perfect shape.
Yep.
I wish I could be him.
When it comes to Myles, like to your point, no one was surprised. DPOY, best season he's had, unanimous. I'm like hesitant to even think or ask, could he be better? But do you think Myles could be better? Like, is there? We kept saying for the first 2 years.
Any better. The only thing he could do that would top this year is if he broke the sack record again and then had big moments in the playoffs. But what's he supposed to do? Yeah. I mean, he can't get the team to the playoffs by himself.
Right.
I mean, that season led to 5 wins.
Yeah, I mean, like you said in our chat, like, can he be the GOAT if he never wins a championship? I don't even accept that for football necessarily, although I know a lot of people would disagree. For example, your boy Eli Manning's going to get in the Hall of Fame. To me, he is not a Hall of Famer. He is not a Hall of Famer.
He ain't in yet.
He was a compiler. He was a very good player. But to me, you got to be great. And Eli Manning was never the best, never even a top 10 player in the league, let alone the best player in the league. Whereas, like, Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the league. He's not even close.
I agree.
Right? And so, if he retired today, would I say Myles Garrett is the greatest defensive player of all time? I would not, only because, and it's not fair to him necessarily, I just saw Lawrence Taylor do it in the playoffs. You know, I saw Reggie White do it in the playoffs. It's not fair. I'm not going to hold it against him. I say I'm not going to hold it against him.
It sounds like you're holding it against him right now.
But I kind of am. But I think they're all on equal footing right now. I got to see Myles Garrett do it longer, play at this high level. But I think by the time he retires, you know what? I just contradicted myself, really.
Well, what's funny is, who is the greatest pass rusher of all time? There is no consensus answer.
I think most people would say either Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White.
What about Bruce Smith?
He has the most sacks.
I mean, that's a pretty good case.
I don't think
but Hank Aaron had the most home runs for a long time, and nobody thought of him as the best home run hitter.
Yeah, but there's other ways to gauge a baseball player. I don't know.
No, but even as a home run hitter, even though he was the all-time home run king, he never.
But like LeBron has the most points in NBA history. I don't think anyone would say LeBron's the greatest scorer of all time.
I'd call him the greatest player of all time, but I'm biased.
Well,
I totally admit I'm biased. But the point, there is no consensus as to who is the best.
No, but I think now Myles Garrett is in that group of four with Bruce Smith, Reggie White.
I mean, he has to keep going.
And Lawrence Taylor.
He has to keep
So,
going.
yes.
He has to do this for
I
5 more years.
In the end, if he plays at this level for another 3-4 years, I will put him up to the top, even if he doesn't have those playoff moments. But if he gets a chance to have the playoff moments, again, zero his fault that it hasn't happened, then that will skyrocket him past everybody. But when his career is over, if he does this, plays at this level for a number of years, I will eventually, even though those guys did it in the bigger moments, not his fault, I will eventually put him ahead, I think. But you can already make a case, potentially.
I think he's up there already.
He's the best player of all time. It's hard to say. Like, how do you determine if he's better than Lawrence Taylor?
Right.
Or if he's better than Reggie White?
Right.
All that matters is he's in that conversation.
Yeah.
That really matters. You know, everybody can make their own opinion.
Of this era, he's the best pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, you have J.J. Watt, you have T.J. Watt. Is anybody else in the and Aaron Donald's a tackle, but so it's different.
Yeah, Donald's in a different classification.
But in terms of defensive ends, only the Watt brothers are the only ones in the conversation. But to me, he's better than all of them.
And White won a Super Bowl. LT obviously has Super Bowls.
Yep.
Bruce does not.
But he went to there 4 times.
Yeah, got there and didn't win.
Yeah.
So we'll see with Myles.
Yeah.
On Schwesinger,
yeah,
it's the second Browns rookie to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. Do you know the first?
Do I know the first?
I'll give you the year.
Is it? Okay, give me the year.
82.
Clay Matthews?
No.
82. Defensive Player of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. 82.
Was it a pass rusher?
I've never heard of the guy, full disclosure.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, it was 11 years.
saying much.
It was 11 years before I was born.
Frank Minifield.
No.
I thought it might be somebody random.
If I give you his initials, will that
Not
help?
coming to me. Go ahead.
CB.
Chip Banks.
Yes.
I was thinking that, but I thought it was too early.
Chip Banks in 82.
He played for the Giants.
I never heard of Chip Banks in my life.
He's a good linebacker.
Yeah.
He was.
You should know him. He played for the Giants.
I don't know. But Schwesinger led
Yeah.
all rookies in tackles for loss, run stops, had 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Like
He was so impressive.
He was a
as
runaway.
rookie.
And I also want to shout out our guy Oshie. And what band's Oshie in?
I found out it's pronounced Ashi.
Ashi.
but
What
it's
band's
Beartooth.
Ashi in?
Who's Ashi?
Maybe our most famous daily viewer.
Yeah.
He put in a $50 bet on Schwesinger to win Defensive Rookie of the Year before the season. and
No.
won $1,500. So shout out to Ashi.
Ashi. Who is Ashi? What's
He's
he famous for?
He's a bassist in a big metal band.
Yeah, he's a bassist.
Oh,
from
yeah, you
Columbus.
mentioned him before. I thought you were
Really
friends
nice
with
guy.
him. Isn't he a friend of yours?
I mean, I've met him once.
Oh, I thought he was a friend, and I was confused because, like, how do you not know how to pronounce
he's
his
like a
name?
legit rock star.
So he's in a metal band.
Yes.
Watches every day.
Really, really nice guy. Just got engaged. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Ashi.
Shout out Ashi, man.
And Beartooth, if I'm ever going to become a metal fan, Beartooth will
That's the name of the band?
Beartooth?
Yeah, Beartooth.
That's a cool name.
It's a cool name. Cool name.
Is that making me old that I've never heard of him?
I mean,
No, they're relatively new.
I mean, heavy metal is not in the pop culture right
Hey,
now.
Turnstile just won a Grammy, so
Turnstile?
Yeah, they've been around for 10 years, and they finally.
I think Aaron might get into. He loves the rock music. I was driving. I'm driving him to school, and then I drop him off, and then I go to the gym, and he's like, "Dad, can I make you a playlist for your workout?" And I'm like, "Okay." And in like 2 minutes, he made me a 1 hour playlist on Apple. I have no idea how to do that. And he put some like heavy songs. He likes some of this. He's wearing like Iron Maiden shirts.
That's awesome.
But that's old school heavy metal. I don't know if do the heavy metal. You like heavy metal?
Yeah.
Like do the young heavy metal people like bands like Iron Maiden?
Yeah, Iron Maiden's great. I love them.
Is Metallica? That's controversial whether they're heavy metal or not, right?
Yeah, I mean Metallica headlined twice last year at Sonic Temple. 2 nights of the 4
Yeah.
nights, so they're still big.
I'll tell you a heavy metal song by a random band, and then we'll move on. That you might be shocked that I've even heard of this band. Lacuna Coil.
I don't actually know that one.
Look at that. I know a heavy metal band. I think it's a female lead singer, and there's one really good song, but I can't think of the name. I bet Ochi knows who Lacuna Coil is.
You mean Ashi?
Ashi. I bet Ashi knows who Lacuna
Maybe
Coil is.
Oshi knows too.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Oshi and Ashi. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Look cool.
With Schwesinger,
Yeah,
real quick,
Schwesinger.
though. Obviously, they drafted him
Chip Banks.
33rd overall.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting, and me and G and Earl were doing
Yeah.
the live post reaction. We were like, they have all these holes on offense that took an off-ball linebacker who I'm not
You guys are not the sharpest tools.
I'm
in
not a
this
draft Nick. I'll be the first to admit, like, I get into the positions I think the Browns are going at, but I don't know all these prospects.
Yeah.
He went from a walk-on
Yeah.
to an All-American to a second-round pick.
He wasn't even a starter
to
his
defensive
senior year
rookie
at the beginning of the year.
It's incredible. His trajectory and progression through the ranks over the last 5 years of his life has been absolutely
It's
insane.
amazing.
When they drafted him, and I rely on G. Bush for a lot of this when it
Yeah.
comes to the draft stuff because he does know as many. He was like, I heard of him. I don't love what I saw, but I can't believe they took that over Shador or the offensive play. Like, they had so many other offensive
Yeah.
holes. And turns out, what a freaking good pick by
Carson
Andrew Berry.
Schwesinger
What
is
a damn good pick.
arguably the only draft pick in Andrew Berry's entire 6-year tenure that has way outpaced his draft slot. Is there anybody else?
Can I pat myself on the back for a second?
Please.
When I was out on panel last summer and I did my music topic,
Yeah.
Schwesinger was my prediction to be Defensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year.
Look at Anthony.
Okay,
Go back and find it. I told him.
All right.
he
Well,
was
I'm not
gonna
going to
be
go
the
back and
best
find
draft pick.
it, but I believe you. I don't need to go back and find it. I'm a trusting person there, Anthony. I believe you if you say that you said that, and I'm impressed. You should have bet on it.